Welcome to a special episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome, returning viewers. And for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us today. On today's video, we will be talking about our adventure that took place at the Woolstock Festival, which takes place in Paris, Ontario. It used to be Woodstock, but now it's Paris, Ontario. And we're going to talk all about that. But before we begin, Colleen will talk about
what I'm wearing. So I'm wearing what I wore yesterday. This is the Dragon Belly shawl, and I will get the name of the person and have May put it down, who is the designer of it. I was debating because it was a cool day yesterday when we went, and I thought, but if it's warm in the buildings, and I didn't. So this is cotton. It's lovely yarn. It's the Whirl, and it comes in a big 100-meter cake, and so I was able to make this, and I made a small one for you. And anyway, so it's cotton, and the nice thing about it is it kept my neck warm, so I wasn't too chilly, but I didn't get overheated while we were in the buildings.
And you couldn't get overheated, really, because it
was cool.
It was cool.
Exactly. So here's just the vendor list. That's what it looks like. They do a great job. So that is Will and Jane of K Fibres and More. They're the organizers of Woolstock, and they do a fantastic job.
Yep.
So not only do they have a booth because they're vendors, but we actually ran into Will, and he was busy going around trying to get things sorted out, making sure all the vendors were happy, and it was really good.
And
job.
you know what? You couldn't get a perfect pair looking after something like that because they're so easygoing, so laid back, and I think things just go like clockwork.
They do,
and I think that some of the same vendors were there this year that were there in the years past.
Exactly.
And
they have, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
They have 4 full buildings. So there's one where they have some animals, and then there's 3 other buildings. And so it's kind of nice because you go from, building to building to building. Now, I paid for our tickets ahead of time, forgetting that we needed to go left. I took us right, then we had to go left, and it was raining. Was I popular with Miss May? Don't know.
I had an umbrella. It was all good.
Yes, she was good.
But it blew inside out. There was a little bit of a wind there, too.
Yes, there was a bit.
There were some outside vendors. You know what? Why don't we just put the video in, and then you'll know what we're talking about for those of you who don't get to go there. But because I think everybody in the whole community went there.
It was busy.
Outside, like hours outside that. But if you're not from Canada and you're not from this area, it gives you an idea if you want to travel down to this in years to come, because they're going to have it next year also,
Absolutely.
Will said. It gives you an idea what to expect. So we'll just put that video in, and then Colleen and I will come back and talk about it. Here we are arriving at the festival. Colleen, it was a drab, dreary, cold, miserable day, but a perfect day to be at a fibre festival.
Absolutely.
I thought I would just pan around just to give you an idea of the enormity of it and show you the parking lot. It was so busy. Now, Colleen and I usually end up going in the morning to prevent the crowds, but we got there a little later, and so thus the crowds, which is more difficult to take the video, but we did it.
Exactly. So many beautiful colors of yarn and fiber, and so this Wool Fest has all kinds of fibers for felting and spinning, and as well as the yarn that you normally see at a yarn festival. Now the people that put this on is TK Fibres, and well, look at this place. Before they had a sale and they were sold right out. And that's when we arrived.
Yes.
So many things to see. So you can see the fiber on the floor there in the bags. So lots of people just grab what they need and go from there. I did see a lot of people with big bags of those.
Right.
There we go. There's the Unwind Yarn House, which we had visited before.
This place buys secondhand great fibers from different great articles from different secondhand stores, and then they sell, and they always do extremely well.
Right. Look at the food trucks. There were French fries. We didn't do French fries, but I wanted them.
This lady had lots of samples of different fibers. It was really cool to be able to touch all of them. Again, it was really hard to video because of the crowds.
Right. Uh-oh.
Here's the llamas. They're so well behaved.
Alpacas or llamas?
They're the sign says llama, but they're alpacas.
Oh my goodness.
But they had a sign of
The difference between the two?
The difference between the two. They didn't bring their llamas, they brought their alpacas.
Okay.
The alpacas, I guess they don't have, they don't have an odor, and they're really easy to take care of.
Okay.
And they're a lot lighter than the llamas, so obviously
Okay.
that farm has llamas and alpacas.
Oh, that's very cool.
And so they kind of had a sign of comparing them both.
Oh, and look at the spindles. I wish I knew more. I was wanting to get one, but I don't know enough yet.
Oh, they're the Pyrenees? Is that what you-
Pyrenees?
Pyrenees, is that how you say that? Beautiful, very placid dogs. And they shed twice a year, she said. And also, she has them in her house. I said, oh, do you keep them outside? She said, no, they're in the house. She says, it's a lifestyle. And here we have the little placid sheep. They're lovely, aren't they?
I think they were huddled together because it was so cool.
They were so well behaved too.
That's right.
Again, another building we're in, very crowded. As you can see, all I was getting was people's faces and bodies, so I apologize for that. Next time we'll get there a little earlier. More of a hallway, and here was where we bought our
Fibre from the Olive Sparrow.
she was so helpful.
Yeah,
that
because
lady
you were
was-
looking for something to help felt soap, and I was looking to see something if I could start using a drop spindle with, so.
So we asked her advice, and she gave us some great advice, and
Yeah.
we'll share that with you. But
She had so
very
much-
organized. I love
Yeah,
her booth.
So it's
It
for
was-
mainly for wet felting and for dry felting.
And we ran into, of course, Leo and
Oh,
Roxy.
nice.
We were ready to wrap it up. We were getting cold. We had been through it all, and we're ready to go. But it was a great, great show again.
Amazing. It was an amazing show. Now, we normally, as we said in the video, we go a little earlier. This time we went a little later, so it was really, really busy. That one stall where everything was sold out.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And we got there at noon, and it had
There was
sold
still
out by
4
noon. And it was still
exactly.
4 hours ago. The poor couple that was sitting there were like,
They said, if you like pink, it's there.
But they had sold 2 years worth of product
Exactly.
that they had accumulated that they just wanted to start fresh and get rid of.
Exactly.
And the sale must have been pretty good. I bet
think
you're
it
sorry
was.
you missed it.
I am, but that's
Yeah.
okay. So, normally when I go to a yarn festival, there's a lot of yarn that comes home with me. What I did, which was actually smart in a way, is I decided it was time to go through my stash, the 1 or 2 bins of my stash, to go through it.
Did you feel my eyes rolling?
Yes, I did. They're going to be stuck up there. Because I had a book that I had organized everything in, but I'd used some of it up and I hadn't taken it out of the book. So I got to make sure that I do that. So I was sitting on the floor. May came downstairs and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just organizing my stash. She said, oh my goodness.
I think, do you think you need to buy any more yarn? And Colleen goes, oh yes.
There's always some more yarn.
I couldn't even see you at one point. I mean, when I took the picture, you had gone through half of it. You were
I
just
had.
getting down to the little
Yeah,
bits.
exactly.
And when I took the photo, I was just quickly passing by and I took this
Right.
quick photo. So
Yeah.
I'll put that up and you can see what I mean.
Exactly. So the good news is I'd gone through it. I understood what I had. I thought, is there anything that I would like to get or need or see? There's lots of beautiful yarn there. But as I said, I had everything that I already had fresh in my head. So the thing that I'm doing a little differently is that I am going to be taking a drop spindle course at the Little Red Mitten. So when you take the course, you pay for the kit. There's going to be some of the roving and there's going to be a drop spindle. So I'm going to do that. And so I was more interested in looking at fibre because guess what I don't have?
You don't have
I don't have fibre like
Oh
that.
no, other buckets. I can see other buckets of fiber coming.
So when we were wandering around, that's what I was looking at. I mean, I looked at yarn. I had some in my hand. There was about 2 or 3 places I thought, and I thought, no, Colleen, focus. Focus on getting yourself something that you can try and spin. Now, here's my dilemma, because my understanding is when you're a beginner spinner, that would be me, that merino is not the best. But merino feels really good. So I have to understand that I know when I go to take the course at the Little Red Mitten, it isn't merino that I'm going to be dealing with. So that's okay. Then I can practice doing that. So that's what I was looking for. Now, May, when you were looking, what were you
I was
for?
looking at fiber and I thought all those colors were amazing. But I want to cover soap like I want to felt soap
Yes.
and do that kind of thing. And so I thought I would get a starter kit for that. Talk to the lady there. Her name was
Monica. And Monica came to Canada from Switzerland in 1987. It looks like I researched. And she attended the Ontario College of Arts and Design.
Well, you can
And
tell.
she is amazing. So her business is called the Olive Sparrow. And as you said, the
Where is she
colors
from?
are
Do you
knitting.
know, Colleen?
I do, because I looked it up. Oh, so she's got a store in Toronto. East York, I think, is what I looked at when I was doing my research. But she has fibers that are for felting. So wet felting, dry felting. So if, you know, the people that will make a landscape dealing with and felt the
and
wool.
make a photo, like a
picture, absolutely. So she has all the colors in the world. So we actually had a nice chat with Monica. She was very helpful. So you explained what you wanted to do. I explained what I was wanting to do, knowing full well that spinning with merino is not as easy, and I understand that, but it did feel really good. The colors were brilliant. And so you want to do some felting of soap. Now, we did that previously when we went out to Zeraldo Alpacas, and it was great.
It was.
It was
Now, Monica, you said?
Monica.
Asked her some questions about what kind of products you use.
Fibre, yeah.
And I'm really glad I didn't just go and buy fibre off the shelf, because she was very helpful in letting us know what would work better for soap and what would work better for a beginner, and then what would work better for spinning. Very knowledgeable, and I'm sure if you called that store and you had a question about spinning, she would be more than happy to explain. She's really very, very knowledgeable.
All right, so I'll make sure I put her contact information down below in the description box, so you'll be able to contact her if you have any questions.
Right. And it was a fun day. It's always a great day going there, because we pack a little lunch and we do our thing.
Yeah.
And
But I'm sorry. We packed a lunch, and I was very sad. Why was I sad, May?
because there was French fry trucks.
There were French fries. There were
like,
food trucks.
why did we have
And
pack a lunch?
I kept almost following these people with their French fries. I thought,
The smell was brilliant.
Oh, it was good.
Not only did we smell the French fries, but we ran into several podcasting people that are subscribers. So hi out there, we're going to give you a nod. It was really great that you came up and you said hello. We appreciate that very much.
That's right.
And it was great. It was just a really good day.
Okay.
You know?
So shall we look at our souvenirs?
Okay. Oh yeah, we went to Mary Maxim too.
We did.
You can't go to Paris, Ontario without going to Mary Maxim.
And I said to May, do you want to go to Mary Maxim? And there was a hesitation. And I thought in my brain, okay, it's an hour and a half for us to get to Paris. And right now it's 3 minutes from where we are to Mary Maxim. We'll just go to Mary Maxim. Not that I needed yarn, because I'd made it through the whole Woolstock, Ontario, without buying yarn this time. Next year, there'll be yarn being bought, but this time I was trying to be good. And I'll use up a whole bunch of my stash, and then next year I'll be ready. So we went to Mary Maxim.
And Mary Maxim was quite busy.
It was
apparently
busy.
a bus loads come in.
Oh.
They had said, I said, you're very busy. And the lady said, we just had a busload arrive.
Oh.
So I guess they come from all over.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if they went to Woolstock, because they were talking about buses going to Woolstock, and that bus went from there to Mary Maxim.
I bet you that's what
That's
happened.
a good possibility.
Yeah, but that would, as you saw the parking lot, amazing. It's just an amazing day. And if you next year they're going to have it, so look for that.
Exactly.
It was great. And also check out the video we did for
K Fibres and More.
K Fibres on one of
It's
the.
episode 104.
Oh, okay.
And I will do my best to link the video below.
Okay.
I know I can link us to Ravelry, so I'm hoping I can link us to a
If
video.
we can't link it, you can search our video,
Yes,
which is
episode
a 104.
Yeah.
MC Knitting Adventures, episode 104. And you will see the whole farm that they have and the whole, what they do. They're
It
just,
is
I don't know
unbelievable.
where these guys, Will and Jane, get their time
don't
to
know.
do the things that they're involved
Yeah,
in.
it's
Is
brilliant.
unbelievable. And Jane works full time, I believe.
That's my understanding.
Yes, so I don't know how they do that, but they do it, and it's very interesting. So I would check that out. Now, souvenirs.
Okay, where shall we start?
Well, we didn't really get a lot, so you start.
Okay, I'm going to start with handing you what you got.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry for the crinkle.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, this is what I got at the
Olive Sparrow.
Olive Sparrow, who was, like you said, was in the Toronto area.
Monica, yeah.
And this is going to be for the soap. I got the blue colors because I thought that would look good around the soap.
Exactly.
Now, I've been looking on YouTube videos, and that shows you how to felt. And then you can do little like a lot of them will do little pictures. I might want to try that on one of them.
Oh my goodness, you're getting fancy.
Fancy, and I'm gonna like go for it.
That's right.
Yeah. So
and Monica explained that the fibers in there they're not all going in a row like you would get with roving. They kind of already started the process of combining that way. They got short staples. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not really 100% sure.
right. I think these are mostly for a beginner too.
Yes.
Because the fibers are already crisscrossed together.
Right.
And I think it's easier to felt. I
Okay.
think that's what
I
she
love
was
those
saying.
colors.
Yes, those colors are great. So I didn't know what colors. I didn't know what Colleen was buying. But what did? Oh yeah. What did? Do you want to see my souvenirs from Mary Maxim or just these ones? Or,
Let's do from the Olive
Okay.
Sparrow.
So I didn't know what Colleen was doing, and she didn't know what I was buying. But so I ended up getting these colors, and then Colleen.
Look what I ended up with.
Yeah.
Look it.
So we can mix and match. Maybe you
Exactly.
could borrow maybe one of my colors if you wanted
Exactly.
to.
So this is roving. I don't want to pull too much, but there it is. And so it's got...
No, those are the fibers that go. She was
Straight.
explaining
Yeah.
that will go straight, and
Right.
it's a little softer
Yes.
than what this fiber is.
Right.
But this
That's the
fiber
plan.
will be good for soap
Exactly.
because exfoliating this will help with
Yes.
that. When
So
you're-
here's how much I planned, which I don't know if I explained to you.
Oh.
I thought, okay, what I have to learn to do, there's lots of things. I have to learn how to use a drop spindle, and I have to learn how to make this fiber into a single ply. And then I have to ply the two plies together. So my thought was, if I do this color, and then I do this color, and then I ply those two together. And I'm hoping that I would have enough to make some socks or something.
Oh, wow,
Do you have
that's-
a big idea? Do I
that's
have a big idea?
That's too big. That's big.
Yes.
Maybe
Okay.
so. But you
Maybe
know what?
I'll just make a ball of yarn.
Let me remind you, we did run into our friends Carrie and Linda,
Yes.
who are subscribers, and they're avid knitters and
Spinners.
spinners. Linda is a spinner.
Yes.
She belongs to the Spinning Guild here in
Right.
London, which is a great place to
Okay.
start.
So this is
And
where
you can-
phoning a friend
Yeah,
comes into
call
play.
a friend. I mean,
phone a friend.
we would love to just talk to Linda, that together, and talk to Linda all about the spinning, and she
That
would
would
be
be
able
great.
to give you some knowledge.
good
And maybe
tips.
we could even interview Linda at some point. Maybe
Oh,
she'd be into that.
that'd be great.
And
I
her
think that'd be
knowledge.
fun.
Because she used to dye yarn, and she's a
Yeah.
spinner, so that'd be a great resource.
That would be great.
So Linda, if you're watching us, look forward to our phone call.
And I am loving to learn something new. So I'm excited. Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
put the very crinkly bags. So that's that. Then we went to Mary Maxim. So let's
Right.
talk about Mary Maxim. What did you get at Mary Maxim?
I got a little scraper. I got actually two of these. We have one at home that we use all the time. We use it for cleaning pots and pans. We don't do a lot of cooking, so there's not a lot of pots and pans scraping.
You get
going on.
fed. Have no fear.
Okay, yes, we eat well, but yes. Colleen does the cooking.
There we go.
So anyway, these have been handy. And also when we're making our soap making, it's nice to scrape off
The soap.
the soap,
Yeah.
the different areas and the
Exactly.
molds that we use. It's really nice. I use it all the time. And then now that I'm doing resin, I think it'll be nice to be able to spread the resin out evenly, and I'm
that's a
hoping
great
it'll
idea.
come off. Yeah. So I got two
Brilliant.
of those. Mary Maxim has a lot of seen on TV kind of things.
Exactly. Yeah, and I want to get one of those big bright lights that has three
Oh.
things. And I
Aught
saw
lights?
them.
Is it an aught light or no?
No, it's not. Well, that's another thing I'd like to get. But it's the ones that just screw in a regular light bulb
Right.
socket, and it has three parts that go out, so it's nice and bright.
That's what I want to ask people. I want to ask you about lighting, and if you've got something out there that you could recommend to use. I'd like to get something like with magnifying and maybe lighting.
Right.
If you've used an item, let me know.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because I'd love to, hear from people that have got
Right.
something that works. Because there's so many out there. I don't even
Exactly.
know until you try it, and
That's
then you
right.
spend all this money on
I know.
stuff.
I know.
So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
anyway, if you know of something, let me know.
So now, I was wandering, you were wandering. I said, I'll meet you at the back, I'll meet you at the front, we do that. And all of a sudden, May comes up, didn't you say, she said to me, didn't you say you wanted to get some white felt? And I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I did. How did you remember? Because I didn't. So anyway, here's what's going on.
It helped that I was at the white felt when you came up.
Okay, so I am working on some cross stitch. It is a cross stitch along with the caterpillar cross stitch. I think it's called a Christmas Winter Wonderland. So if you are doing this and you are not started into the second part, then don't look. Because I think you can still actually become part of it. So here is what I'm doing. I'll just take a little look on this. It's so much fun. It really is. It's very meditative. Now, the thing is that I have this, I think this is a kind of Q-snap knockoff. It holds it really nicely, and I like it. But the problem is it can make marks on your Aida cloth. So the idea is that you take your white felt. I got 4 of these just because I need to. I've got bigger ones that are actually a Q-snap. And so the idea is you use, most often I've seen people use pinking shears, and you cut the piece that you need, and then this will wrap around this, and then like this, and then you put the snap on top.
Oh.
So obviously this is, I think, is an 8x8. I think I have a 9x9.
Is that just so you don't damage your work?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because if I take this off, which would be difficult, but if I take it off, you'll see everything's all kind of wrinkled.
Oh, okay.
So it's supposed to help it out. Oh. So I will get that organized. But I am enjoying cross stitch. And so that was very nice of you. I'm so glad you did, because otherwise we'd get home.
Well, we do share a brain. Usually,
yes, we do.
And we do share the memory, which is good, because as we're aging, our memories are not quite as good as they used to be.
That is true.
We were telling my son, who came the other night, we were telling him that it's great being this age, because we can watch movies and movies and movies over again, because Colleen and I never remember.
Until about the last 15 minutes.
I'm sure I saw this. My favorite line, I'm sure I saw this.
That's right.
But never at the beginning.
No, never at the beginning.
Anyway, he had a good chuckle. He kind of looked at me
Because
like,
I remember what I watched when I was 5. And
yeah.
Well,
So, his memory's pretty sharp. I hope it stays like that until he's our age.
And also the distance between him being 5 and where he is, and us being 5 and where we are.
Right.
Bigger distance.
Yeah. Anyway, it was quite funny.
Yes. So we had a great day in Paris, Ontario. We enjoyed Woolstock 2023. We're looking forward to Woolstock 2024. And as I said, I'm going to use up some of my stash, so next year. Watch out.
And maybe we'll talk to Will and Jane about getting a booth next year in Woolstock. I'm just not sure what we would sell. We don't have much fibre. Maybe we could just be there for our podcast, MC Knitting Adventures, and then people could come up and maybe they would let us do that.
You know what? I really enjoy making a project bag. I have to tell you. I made that bag with the bakery bears, and I really enjoy the process. So the trick is to enjoy the process and not have it, let your... like a factory.
Right.
So
it takes the enjoyment out of it sometimes.
Sometimes
I find that with my miniature class. If I'm making one miniature bed for myself or 2 miniature beds, it's kind of fun and you can design it.
Right.
But when I have to make 20 miniature beds, it's really not fun anymore.
Well, the neat thing is, not only do I have a little bit of a yarn stash, just a little bit, I have a little bit of a fabric stash. So it would be nice just to say, okay, today I'm going to make a bag and I'm going to use grays. And go in and get grays and make myself, make a gray bag.
Right. That's a great idea.
What does tend to happen is I make a bag and go, oh, I really like that. I think I will keep it.
And you never use them.
Oh, you know what? I don't, because I don't want them to. We had this discussion yesterday.
Right.
Because when we went to Scotland, which is 5 years ago. Can you believe it's 5 years ago? Went to Scotland 5 years. We both bought a lovely raincoat they're beautiful raincoats. They don't have any Velcro on them. They look good. And so I hesitated to put it on because I think, I want to keep it for good. Well, I've been keeping it for good since 2018.
Yes. We need to, and it doesn't rain that much here, really.
No.
There's not very many rainy days, but...
well, if it does, we don't go out in it.
Right. But they are nice raincoats. And, we spend a lot of money on them, and you might as well start using it.
Exactly.
How many years do you plan on living?
That's what I said to May yesterday. I've decided... Use the good dishes.
Yeah, use the good dishes. That's not going to be our new motto, I think. But yes.
So we did have a great time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe. We are so close to that 1,500. I think I checked this morning and we were 1,494.
Keep watching because we're going to have a giveaway for sure.
We are going to have a giveaway, and I think I'm going to make a project bag.
Oh, nice. Good.
Exactly. We'll have a few other things, but we'll do that. And May and I have been discussing, we're going to do some tutorial videos. So if there's something that you want to see, you say, how would you make this, or how do you make that, or you want me to, research something, nothing to research, so it would be great. So thanks again, and until next time.